What's up, guys? I'm finally back with a train wreck of a video here, but it's something that's been cluttering up my shelf for a long time, and I just want to start using it and get this video out of the way, so apologize in advance for that. But what we're looking at today is a Dell Latitude CS, and this particular specimen happens to be a Pentium 2 400 megahertz. I don't know how much RAM is in it, or where it even is for that matter. It's been sitting on my shelf for a long time in pieces because it had some issues. I had to order some parts, but I should have everything to get it going again, and that's what this video is going to be about. So I don't know what hard drive it came with, but I've got a IDE to mSATA adapter in here. I think I did 32 gigs, maybe 64, I'm not sure. This is the original battery, does not hold the charge, and a little rubber foot is missing. It's got that nice little button, but pushing that does nothing, and then I dropped it just before recording this, so it's junk. Here's the replacement battery from eBay. Looks like a generic one. Does have the little rubber foot. And let's see if we get a light here. No lights on it yet, but I don't know that it's ever been charged. So hopefully that works. That goes on the inside. That's your RAM cover. Keyboard's sitting over here. This thing's just in pieces. See if I can do this one-handed. There we go. There's a look inside. Here's your CMOS battery. I think that's dead, so I gotta order one of those. It's a big cover here, not much to see. So I'm gonna get this slapped together. There's the sticker, Pentium 2, Windows 98, and NT. I believe the screen works good. We're gonna find out. So see you guys when it's back together. Just putting the finishing touches on here. I did find this RAM. No idea if that's what it came with, and it's not marked what size it is. So we're gonna pop this in, see if it works. Should be PC 100, maybe PC 66. Go ahead and leave that RAM cover off for now in case there's a problem with it. Well, let's get our battery snapped in. This might be the first time it's ever clicked in here. Fits just fine. Color's a little bit off though. No big deal. That's probably the OS license sticker that got ripped off at some point. All right, I'm gonna get the camera set up somehow and plug it in, see if it turns on. All right, ready to turn it on here. There she goes. Usually F2 for setup on Dells. Yeah, telling me the CMOS battery's dead, which I already knew. So go ahead and fix the time here. So yeah, it's detecting 32 gig hard drive. And again, that's mSATA through an IDE adapter. .400 megahertz. And I'm noticing this laptop has no CD-ROM drive or floppy drive. So, and I don't have the external devices that apparently go with it. So I'm gonna have to actually pull the hard drive back out of it, copy all my files over to it to install Windows. And first thing I want to try is see if I can get this to run Windows 3.1 with the proper video driver and sound. Just as I love Windows 3.1, I'm looking for a nice laptop to run it, and I want to see if this can do it. I found some, this has the Neo Magic 256ZX, I believe, chipset. And I found some IBM drivers for a similar Neo Magic 256 something else, but they did write Windows 3.1 drivers for it, so I'm hoping that it's close enough to work. We're going to find out. If not, then this won't be my go-to retro laptop. Let's see what's on the other BIOS pages here. Well, the battery is charging. That's a good sign. Not much else interesting in here. Go ahead and exit that. And yeah, so I'll come back once I've got the data copied over to the hard drive. Figured I'd show you guys how I'm going to get the data on this hard drive. So I've got a machine I set up with XP, and it's basically just for partitioning all this legacy stuff. And I use PowerQuest Partition Magic 8 because some of the newer programs I found don't set up the partition table correctly, and this older version of Partition Magic just shows bad and won't work with it. And sometimes machines don't boot right. So long story short, this is my go-to program, and right now it's completely empty. So the first thing we're gonna do is set up our FAT16 partition to put DOS 6.2 and Windows 3.1 on. And that's going to be primary partition, maximum size possible. We'll go ahead and give it a drive letter and say OK for that. And I'm also going to go ahead and create a primary partition for Windows 98. That's going to be FAT32. Maximum size is fine. And OK for that. And then we got to come back and make sure that our FAT16 partition is active so that it boots from that one. And then we'll apply that. I don't know why it needs to reboot. It's connected over USB, but we'll go ahead and do that. The system that I'm on is AMD Athlon. It's an Athlon X2 215. Got a GeForce 8200 GS video card in here. No, 8400 GS, my bad. So now under my computer, I can see the, what is this? That's the FAT16 partition. Should be able to see the other one. Maybe that's an XP limitation where it can't see two primaries at the same time or something. I don't know. Anyways, there's our file system. So on my server, Actually, right here on the desktop, I have the DOS boot files. All we got to do to make this thing bootable is copy these over. That'll get me to a command prompt. And then on my server, I can copy over the Windows 3.1 setup files. Might take me a minute to find the right ones. Yeah, this folder here. I make a new folder called drivers and put drivers that I'm thinking are going to work in there. I don't know for sure. We'll find out. And I don't know if this thing has a network card or not. If not, I've got some PC card stuff I can put in here. Let's see if I can figure out why we don't have a partition or a drive letter. Oh, it hid that. It doesn't need to be hidden. Hopefully we don't need to reboot for that. Of course. All right, I've just rebooted. That partition should be visible now, and yes, it is. So we're going to copy the Windows 98 setup files over there. If I can find them. Oh, there they are. And then we'll get the drivers for that OS. I'm just going to toss the whole folder over there. All right, so yeah, this video is not going to cover Windows 98. There's plenty of other content out there for that, but that's something I can do later on. So we do need to rehide that partition so that DOS doesn't get screwed up here. And then once this laptop's up and running with the dual boot, I'll use PowerQuest Boot Magic. And basically all that does is flip-flop which partition is hidden depending on which one you want to boot from. So if you're booting to DOS, it hides Windows 98. If you're booting to Windows 98, it hides DOS. Basically all there is to it. So we'll apply that. It's got to reboot again. I'll get the drive put back in the laptop, and then we should be able to boot up to a DOS prompt and get Windows 3.1 installed. Real quick, I went to slide this hard drive in and my hand touched the edge of the battery here and almost burnt myself. This thing is really hot. I don't know if I trust this certainly Chinese battery, because that is really hot. But I pressed the charge light here and can't see it, but 3 of those lights do light up now, so it is charging. just I would say quite dangerously. So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone for now, but something I need to keep my eyes on. All right. See if we boot to a command prompt. Nope. Well, I did something wrong. I don't know. Not sure. Probably something with the master boot record. I don't know how to rewrite that without a CD-ROM or floppy drive. Maybe if this will boot off USB. Because I know Partition Magic has a function to update the MBR. So I wonder if I needed to do that. Yeah, this isn't gonna boot. I do have a USB floppy drive. I wonder if that's gonna work. It's a bit dirty, kind of sitting around. I'm actually kind of going to be amazed if this will boot off a USB floppy. And this is a Windows 98 boot disk I just put in. Let's see what we get here. Nope. I'll go into BIOS and see if there's an option for USB here. So under our boot devices, we've got disk drive. It will boot from CD if you have one. Don't see anything for USB though. Wow. I do want to add CD-ROM to the boot list in case I do ever get one hooked up. So I guess let's go back to Partition Magic, update the MBR, and see if that does anything. Alright, finally got this thing booting. What I ended up doing was pulling the hard drive out, plugging it into another laptop that has a floppy drive, and then I booted from a MS-DOS 6.22 startup disk. I typed in sysc:" to transfer the system files, and then for good measure I did a fdisk/mbr, swapped it back in, boots up, and all the files are still there. So here we go. All right, now we're going to go to the WFW311 directory and run setup. We'll do custom. We're going to pick MS-DOS with APM. Accept. Copied super fast because we're on SSD. Mouse works. I didn't look if there's a network card built into this thing or not. And in case you don't know, Windows 3.1 doesn't need a product key, so you can type whatever you want. Breezing through here, of course. Doesn't have the full DOS install, so the DOS programs didn't get detected, which is fine. Let's restart computer and see what happens. By the way, it's been several hours since I started this video, and it's been plugged in the whole time and nothing's melted down yet, so I guess we're somewhat okay on that generic battery. All right, first time loading Windows, here goes. And we're in. So first thing I want to do is try out some of these drivers. And I think the video driver you can set up within Windows. Maybe. Maybe not. The noisy mouse button. If I remember correctly, that was drivers video. Yeah. So we're gonna do, let's try 16 million colors, small fonts. Okay. Can't do it while Windows is running. Great. What? So let me just go into the Windows directory, run setup from here. There's our driver. Oh. Like I said, these drivers came from a ThinkPad, so that's why it's an IBM ThinkPad on a Dell. Keep our fingers crossed. Got a phone call. I shouldn't have answered that. It's spam caller. So yeah, that video driver didn't work. I'm gonna try, we'll do the 800 by 600 small font, see if that works. And if that doesn't, then I don't think this is gonna run Windows 3.1, to be honest. Oh, gotta go into setup first. Actually, let's try 64,000 colors just for kicks. Actually, no, let's do 256. Figure that might be a little bit safer. Nope, that didn't work. Curious, it didn't say that for the 1024 by 768 driver. Yeah. So I wonder if it works with just Super VGA. Nope. Maybe an 8514. That's pretty standard, isn't it? Yeah, nope. Well, I really wanted to like this laptop. It's got a nice business look to it. It's entirely made out of magnesium, so it's solid, it's rugged, and it's got a Pentium 2 400, so reasonably powerful for the time. But without having a floppy drive, a CD-ROM, or Windows 3.1 support, it's kind of useless to me. So probably gonna put this one up for sale and keep my eyes out for a Tecra 8000. I see a bunch of those on eBay, just holding out for one with a Pentium 3 in it. So keep my fingers crossed on that. All right, yeah, this video was a disaster, which I kind of figured it would be, but at least it's something. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. If you got any ideas on why the hard drive wouldn't boot just by copying the system files over, which, as I understand, is all the sys command does anyway, let me know on that. I want to say I've done that before and it worked, so I don't know what happened. Anyway, see you later.